let's get straight down to business. It is 11:40 at night on Monday night, by the way. By the time this is sort of processed and whatnot, it'll be close to midnight, as Michael Jackson once said. David Ornstein, a tweet, he said, Lyon have submitted an offer to West Ham for Said Benrahma. The bid is worth 15 million, it's pounds sterling, plus add-ons, not accepted by West Ham United yet. Said Olympic Lyonnais, I believe the 28-year-old winger is keen to join. Owner John Textor, he uses his phone a lot, I bet, has admired watching the Algerian international whilst he was at Brentford. That's it, really. Look, let's just break that down ever so quickly. Lyon submitted an offer to West Ham. We know it is 15 million plus add-ons. Come on, that's a good deal. That's a good price. I really do think so. We clearly paid whatever it was, 24 million pound for the player, something like that. His value is definitely depreciated. There's no way he's sort of scored or assisted in the numbers that we would have hoped or expected. I've said on numerous occasions, I don't think we were the right club for him. I think he would have thrived, and I think he would have done better in another team. I really do. I don't think he's great for a counter-attacking team. I don't think he was right for David Moyes, and I don't think David Moyes ever fully embraced him. So, for that reason, I feel he was always sort of destined to struggle. We knew from early on that David Moyes really wanted Iberi as he didn't get him, and this felt like just a second choice, possibly not even his choice. But anyway, I got a lot of admiration for Benrahma, because I do think he's a skillful player. I think he's a really nice guy. I hope he goes on to Lyon and does well. I'm speaking like he's gone, because we'll get to the next part of the tweet in a minute. Look, he's a hero of Prague, right? He really is. And I think if he goes now, he gets remembered fondly and remembered well. We don't win many trophies at West Ham, do we? So I think if you're going to score in a final, I think that certainly should at least guarantee you a little bit in the Hammers Hall of Fame. There's no Hammers Hall of Fame. But if there were a Hammers Hall of Fame, where would it be? They'd probably move it, wouldn't they? Let's be fair. They probably used to have a location, but they've moved it to a new one. West Ham have not accepted it yet. Well, I'm not going to get too upset about that. I've got a reason, I think, why they might not have accepted it. It's because it's nearly bloody midnight. What a funny time to get a scoop or get the story, anyway. Anyway, look, do you know what? David Ornstein's up late at night. I'm up late at night. I've been watching... Do you know what? You ever done that? I've been watching something crap on Netflix, and I found myself like an episode and a half into it, thinking I'm not carrying on. So I binned it off. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because you might be enjoying it and I might ruin it for you. So he's up late at night. Maybe he was watching the same thing, and this news has come in. Look, by the time this day, I'll release this early on in the morning, on Tuesday morning. By the time you watch this, there'll be a lot of other developments on this. But I think, let him go. Just absolutely let this guy go. I think that is good money, 15 million, decent money for this player. And look, whether we go on and invest that in one of the other wingers, the many wingers we've been linked with, I don't know. Who knows? What it is coinciding with is the Real Betis stuff for Pablo Fornals. I love Fornals. Well, they're both good guys. Both Benrahma and Fornals are both good guys. No reflection on their character. Again, they both don't suit David Moyes' style of football. You've got to be quick and you've got to be direct, and there's just no... it's no surprise and it's no coincidence that the people that do well for him are fast and direct. You could probably argue that Jarrod Bowen I'd imagine on the training pitch, isn't as skillful as Said Benrahma, for instance. He's just very direct. He's very clinical. He's faster. He's stronger. It's just more suited to David Moyes' style, and it's. As for Pablo Fornals, just unlucky, really. But look, reunited with somebody that does have faith in him. Real Betis, obviously, Manuel Pellegrini over there. And hopefully, he'll feel pretty chuffed, because he'll be thinking he's got somebody that he initially paid £27 million for when he was West Ham manager. He'll be feeling that actually he's got someone for, a decent player for very cheap. And, he can hopefully, build on fulfill his potential, maybe, or get close to it. I'd love for Fornals to do it. I'd love to think Fornals get back in the Spanish squad. That'd be really brilliant, actually. Good luck to him. I wish him, nothing but the best. But I hope both these deals go through. Whilst I said all those lovely things about them, they're no good for West Ham. they're not going to do anything. They're not going to help us where we want to be. I think it'll be an absolute hindrance if we see a situation whereby for, like the remainder of the season, we would have to play either Benrahma or Fornells. I just don't think that's a good thing. I really don't. So, for those two to go, I think probably makes a little bit of sense. I think, probably Danny Ings might be looking at the situation and thinking, I could do with getting out the door myself, really. Look, as well as he played in the last game in that sort of, whatever you want to call it, a false nine, a number 10, whatever it might have been. It wasn't really. It was decent enough, and it was nice to see him play well and play better, and he had a decent game. But there was nothing in it to suggest that he was going to go and play. He'd take that role in the team when everyone's fit. He won't get anything close to it, and as we sort of hope and we understand that Lucas Paqueta, whatever you want to call him, might well be fit for the next game. That'd be really good as well. In terms of money coming in for Fornells, not so sure. Don't know. Again, look, he was going to leave on a free. We exercised an option to add another year to his contract, which we had. He could have signed for Real Betis and could have signed a pre-contract agreement now and joined them in the summer for nothing. I don't know. Again, I think if we were to get £5-6 million for him, the club was saying 8 to 12 million, which I think means 8 million. And I think if you're saying you're valuing him at 8 million, I think someone comes in with 5, you take it. West Ham have got money anyway. We know this. West Ham have got some money in terms of like an overdraft facility. They settled a debt relatively recently, paid off a debt, got it with another lender. So there's money there. There's money there if we need it. I think there was a little bit of money, about 20-odd million left over from like selling Scamacca and Declan Rice and Vlasic and that sort of thing. This just puts more money in the coffers. £500,000 as a loan fee for Thilo Kehrer. If he does well, we know there's 10 million coming in for him. 15 million plus add-ons for Benrahma. That ain't bad at all. And then, you want to add in a tuppence or so, whatever it might be for Pablo Fornells. That gives us a little bit of money to do something. Now, I'm not for a moment suggesting we go and pay these £7 million worth of agents' fees. I do think that would be feels like a waste of money. I think if we're going to go and buy that money and go and buy the player, it doesn't feel like a waste of money. If you're going to feel that like half the money you were getting for Benrahma, which is what we're talking about here, would be swallowed up by agents' fees, not for me. Not for me. As I mentioned before, you can go and get another player, be it, I know they won't sell Jack Clark, but be it Jack Clark or Jonathan Rowe or somebody else. And, you go and buy the player and you're paying what you would expect to pay, which would be about £1.5 million in agents' fees, which I know is excessive and I know it sounds a lot, but it is more the sort of normal rate that you would buy a player at. That makes far more sense. But anyway, there you go, sort of breaking news. Oh, dearie me. It's very, very nearly midnight now. I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to upload this right now because I don't want your phones pinging at midnight thinking, what's happening? But I do think there's going to be a lot more news breaking today. Maybe I might be wrong on Danny Ings. Maybe that's something that gets done over the next few days. But looks like something's going in terms of players going out. We definitely need an attacking player. Ideally a left winger, I think. But almost anyone who goes do, because I do think either Bowen or Kudus can play over that side if need be. Paqueta's playing on that left-hand side. But it's not the first team. I think the first team's sorted. It's getting a left winger on that bench who we can use to either come on as a substitute or when some of the other guys are suspended, injured, or whatever else. Anyway, we may or may not be back later on today with an update.